Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line, talking all about the Metro budget on a big day as the mayor has proposed the budget for next year. A sharp property tax increase. It's an increase of 32% is what he is proposing. And I keep giving the example, a $300,000 house would pay $750 more, okay? So I almost overstated. This $300,000 house would pay $750 more. We have with us Pat Nolan, who's walking us through all of this. Jana just called a moment ago. Now we're going to go to Bobby. Let's go to Bobby. Hello, what's on your mind?
I want to ask Mr. Nolan and you, Mr. Hall, serious questions like what happened to this Hall income tax? With the state that passed some of that money on to the cities and counties, because they're definitely not doing nothing to the highways that they proposed on this tax on the penny on the sales tax. And I don't understand why the federal government is not passing some of these funds on to the cities. Something is really wrong in this equation right here according to economics. And if you appreciate it, you can answer it straightly. Thank you so much.
All right. The Hall tax, that's a state tax. And Pat...
And it's being phased out. And most of that money, Metro got some of that from the state, and so did some of the other satellite cities here in Davidson County. But it's being phased out, and it was paid off of dividends off stocks and bonds. But that's very increasingly not going to be a part of anybody being able to fund it. And it's been a problem for some of the satellite cities because they relied on it to do a lot of their operating things, and they don't have it anymore.
And then he questions, why isn't the federal government doing more? I mean, the federal government is certainly passing bailout after bailout. I know Metro was hoping that governments, city governments, would be part of that, but at this point they're not. And they're still trying to fund small business loans.
Well, that's right. And this is the second time they've tried that, and the first time didn't work very well because it ran out of money pretty quickly because it seemed to have been given more to the big businesses rather than the mom and pops. We'll see if they gave enough money this time to make a difference. I mean, part of it is, and this is not necessarily a criticism of what they're trying to do, but when you're passing bills in a week or 2 weeks of time, after first they debate, no, we're not going to do another one, then the Republicans meet among themselves, won't meet with the Democrats. The Democrats remind them they can't pass anything in the House unless they come along with it. They get together, first there's an impasse, then finally they come up with something, but usually they pass it within 24 to 48 to 36 hours afterwards. And let's just say sometimes all the things that needed to be looked at, all the details don't always get handled as well as they should be. And one of the things that happened here is that enough strings were attached to local governments being able to use that money, or state governments, that yeah, there's a lot of money there, but they can't use it for anything that's really helpful for what the city governments need the most help for, or the states need. Remember, the feds can just keep sitting up there cranking it out because they have no need to have a balanced budget. The state and Metro has to operate under that by law.
So Pat, we have about 2 minutes left, and you've covered Metro for a long time. What did you think about what you heard today? What the mayor proposed, the way he proposed it, and just what we face going forward now?
Well, it wasn't a complete shock. I mean, the mayor had indicated he was going to propose a pretty substantial tax increase. He said that when he gave his State of Metro addresses, when most people were first expecting him to give a budget proposal to the council along with the tax increase. So nobody was completely shocked. The dollar may have been on the high side of what I was hearing. I believe it was a story that Phil Williams ran about a week or so ago that said that they was looking at 20%. Well, this turned out to be almost half again, more than 20%. So it's probably going to be the greatest single property tax increase in Metro history. Maybe not in terms of dollars and cents, but in terms of overall money that's collected, it will be. But then again, we are facing, and I hate to use this word, unprecedented, uncharted waters. We've never had the city in this kind of situation, literally spending down almost every dollar it had just to close the books this year in a break-even situation. The mayor wants to replenish some of that next year so it can continue to be ready for things that happen, and he wants to hold everybody safely because right now we're not sure exactly when the sales tax and the other taxes are going to start coming back in, because every day we have to get a report on how the virus is doing, and the virus decides what the timetable is going to be. The mayor's not setting an arbitrary date to say we're going to start by this date and move on. The virus has been up the last couple of days, so those hearings become more and more important every morning to watch to see where are we on that, because that's going to tell us when we can start doing that. And when Metro starts collecting taxes again, we'll start inching, and I mean inching, back towards whatever the new abnormality is.
Well, yeah, we need Metro to start
whatever is abnormal
collecting
for the future,
taxes
whatever
again.
new normal it is.
Yeah, Metro needs to get back open and start collecting taxes. And we cover those every morning, the mayor making those announcements about where we stand with the coronavirus. Just an astounding time. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.